Isn't natural light so beautiful? Anytime I can do this, I'm really happy to do this and capture this. I had no intention of even recording anything this morning, but I got finished editing my video yesterday, and it originally, it was ridiculously long. It was 20 minutes long, didn't need to be that long. And I was slowly just, cutting things out and trimming things down and adding a little bit of flair to it. And I realized, I've gotten to the point with these Oreo reviews where it's not even really about the Oreo review anymore. I just want to talk and make people laugh, if I can. I think I'm kind of funny. I'm sure my wife would disagree with me. But the entertainment value doesn't come from the reviewing of the Oreo itself, I don't think. And I've gotten to this point where I'm lazy. Here's the thing. It's going to be 77 degrees. It's going to break records today. It's going to be beautiful outside. The problem is that I know how my days go. I know that my days start at point A of waking up and hitting my snooze at least twice before I get up and normally make breakfast for the kids, which is never a big breakfast. It's usually just like waffles or something and juice and milk. And then I know I've got to give people rides, places, especially today. Today used to be my busiest day. Now Tuesdays are my busier day. But I only have to work one of my 2 jobs that I do on those days. So it's not, my Wednesdays used to go a little something like this. I would get up in the morning, drop Carol off at a meeting she has at work every Wednesday, drop the kids off at school, come home, pick up Carol from lunch, come home, eat lunch, bring Carol back to work. Then I would come home, and then I would go pick up the kids, and then I would come home. And then I would pick up Carol from work, and I would if I had time, I would come home. If not, I would go to Givens, my other job. And then I'd usually go grocery shopping on the way home. So I should mention the reason why I had to do that much running around was because we're down to 1 car right now. We're getting the van fixed really soon. I just thought I should interject this. By the way, I don't want to make this sound like I'm complaining, because I'm not complaining at all. I'm just explaining to you how I go from point A to point B throughout my day. I've missed my opportunity for the golden hour too, because now it's just too bright. All right, go back to him. I think I started to let the process overwhelm me. Right now, we don't have anybody in the Airbnb for another 2 days. But I know I want to get the beds made and done today. So I already washed the sheets. I dried them, but they didn't dry. So I'm drying them again, and hopefully they'll be warmer this time. But my point is it's like a snowball. It's like every day I like to get up and think of something I can do creative during that day. But it doesn't happen a lot of the times because I end up in this rut of knowing that that's the process of my day. And I know that I've only got little gaps and little windows in between, and most of that time is I gotta eat eventually. And coffee is a little bit of a necessity in the morning. Anywho, I guess I just wanted to tune in. I'm probably not gonna do a regular vlog, but I think I do want to go back to doing at least 1 a week, or maybe 1 a month even, or once every other week or something like that, just where we can sit down and talk and I can tell you what's on my mind. So let me tell you what's on my mind today. Growing up, I grew up in a Baptist church, and my dad was a Baptist minister, and that's probably the only reason why I ended up at a Baptist church. However, when you're brought up in a church, especially being the pastor's kid, even though my dad died when I was 7, you really don't have an out. Everything you're taught is pretty much carved in stone until you get to this adult age where it fucks you all up when you realize that's not what I believe in. Anywho, today, Billy Graham died at 99. And now, don't get me wrong, I'm sure Billy Graham did a lot of good for a lot of people throughout his career. But I think he did probably more harm by sending a message to people that I don't believe is true. Maybe there are many roads that lead us to whatever we believe in after we die happens. I'm not talking about a higher power. I'm just saying that the Christian faith says it's heaven and God and hanging out with all your chums in Gold Streets. Why you fucking want Gold Streets, I don't know. But he died today. And at first, every time a celebrity dies, I'm usually the first one out of all my Facebook friends to post something. I don't know what it is. I just have a very morbid personality. I love dark humor. It's hard because now as I go back and I watch it, I'm watching it from a different perspective. When I was younger and I was watching Billy Graham, I thought he was just this ball of love. But now as I watch the stuff that I probably saw when I was a kid, I'm realizing, oh, that's kind of the shit I'm completely against at this point in my life. So I posted, as I do, on Facebook. First one, of course, of all my friends to post. Darker or lighter? I think we need the lighter. Anywho, I'm messing around with this too. I tried to run by an $800 lens that I found on Craigslist in Charlottesville for $500 from some guy on Craigslist up in Charlottesville. Past Carol, and that went over like a fart in church. The thing with this is, right now I'm using my kit lens, the 18 to 35. I know I'm going on and off tangents here. Just give me a minute. And this is nice, but the aperture isn't as low as I can get out of a 50mm lens. The problem with a 50mm lens is I got to shoot from like halfway across the room to achieve the effect I want to look. This could look a lot softer is what I'm saying. The background could be a lot more blurred out. And, oh shit, I'm using the onboard mic. I hope this is okay. And that's another point. I have to run the microphone over a cable up to me. And I mean, I could use a lav mic or something, but whatever. Billy Graham to me was a hero growing up, and as an adult, I realized he was just kind of part of that whole Southern Baptist fire and brimstone movement. Actually, probably the starter of the fire and brimstone movement was Billy Graham. But when I thought of Billy Graham as a kid, I thought of him as a saint. Today on Facebook, I put rest in peace, Billy Graham, R.I.P. Didn't do anything fancy with it. And the first person to comment, I won't give you their names because you may know them, probably not, but really took it in the perspective of my childhood. They put him up on a pedestal and said he joined the other angels and I was just like, and this person posts a lot of stuff. If I could unfriend this person, all right, there are friends you can unfriend, there's people you can't unfriend. If I unfriend this person, it's gonna be weird and like obvious. So, I mean, we're not even wicked close friends. It's just we do have contact with each other. It's this racist old woman I know. She's incredibly racist. And, like, I don't want to associate myself with her. But I also know that she's an old woman that sometimes needs help with her computer. So it's like, do you go the high road and just keep your mouth shut and help someone in need? Or do you tell them to go fuck themselves? Because most of me wants me to just be like, hey, you know what? I don't need you. Go fuck yourself. I don't care if you're... Okay, I gotta cut all this last bit out because I got really specific. Anywho, got a little angry and over the top. This individual was the first person to comment on the Facebook thread that I created. And I immediately just deleted it because everyone else who knows me, there are people actually on the opposite side of the spectrum who would get mad at me for posting R.I.P. Billy Graham. Or at least inside. They might not ever say anything to me, but I could tell that it would make them mad that I would tell a televangelist or, a hardcore fire and brimstone guy to rest in peace. Which I honestly mean. Like I said, there are two sides of every story. There's an opposite side to every coin. And even though he may have misled people to believe, or at least what I don't believe in for so many years, he did probably contribute a lot to the community. I do remember reading a lot about that. But like I said, from when I was a kid till I am now, I'm a total different person. So I may have seen what I thought he was doing for communities and homeless and the sick. And I could be twisting it. But I don't think I am. I think that's the one thing. Like, it's easy to say, yeah, he's a douchebag because of his beliefs. But his beliefs also led him to do a lot of good things. So, my message for the morning. My message for the morning on the Vodkast. It's just this. It's easy to look into the heart of darkness and see not a lick of light. But there is something there. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of, it's so easy to give up on people. And instead of telling this person to go fuck themselves, I think the right thing to do is turn the other cheek and just show them that you can be as good a person as they believe they are. I think that's the way of saying it. I don't know. I'm kind of putting myself up on a high horse by saying it that way, so I don't mean it like that, but like, I think it's okay to contradict someone's beliefs and open your mouth about it. However, there are times and places for it, and when an old person needs help with a computer, do you hold their racism against them, or do you just help the old person in need? It's easy to see how you look at Billy Graham and see one thing, but realize that there probably were aspects of his life that, like, maybe he's the one that takes it that step further and just doesn't talk about it, but does it. Sure, he's a crazy old coot who believes in a space man who... Sometimes I start talking, but I don't know what I'm going to say. And I get wrapped up in this stupidity. Anyway, hey, enjoy your morning. I'm going to go enjoy mine. My work's done. All right, you guys have a good morning, and I'll see you a little bit further on down the road in the next video.